Hi, I'm Stan. My parents are from Hong Kong, but I am made in Germany. A few years ago, I was a manager in a five-star plus hotel. I'm originally from the luxury hotel business, and my job was to set up a department to look after VIPs, which was very interesting, and I was very busy with actors, musicians, athletes, and so on. So with a lot of VIPs. And I had the honor of working with many people that you know from TV. And even though my everyday life was very exciting, professionally speaking, I worked a lot. I did not only work in shifts, in other words, early shift, late shift, night shift, but I had to work a lot of overtime. I worked 13 to 15 hours almost every day, sometimes 18 hours in a row, one day off, then again 18 hours in a row. To be honest, I think everyone who works has at some point asked themselves if this is really what you want to do for the rest of your life. My answer was a clear no, because my life was really just eating, sleeping, working, eating, sleeping, working. Nevertheless, this was not the reason why I was looking for a new job. Unfortunately, my parents haven't been in such good health for a few years. But they still had to go to work, because financially things hadn't worked out otherwise. And if you're watching this, I don't know if you have any brothers or sisters, but I'm the oldest of 4 boys in the family. And my father has always been the sole breadwinner for the 6 of us. And it was incredibly hard for me that I could only watch. I really wanted to do something. I even made a conscious decision at the time to give up my studies and simply go into training, because I said I just wanted to earn my first money as quickly as possible. And since I started earning money, I've been giving at least 1/3 of my wage to my parents every month to be able to support them better. And of course, it wasn't a lot during my apprenticeship. Even a few years ago, I earned good money as an executive, but it was never enough to say, "Hey, Mom and Dad, you can retire now." So I was thinking, okay, Stan, what can you do now to earn extra money? I also thought, maybe just like you, to just get a second job. But the challenge for me was, if you work 13 to 15 hours every day, you just don't have the time. And when I almost gave up searching, luckily I was approached by a good friend. "Hey Stan, you could theoretically make more money with less time." And that sounded very good to me. Also, to be honest, I was very skeptical because I thought, okay, I'm already working many hours, how can you make more money in less time? That was because I hadn't quite understood the whole thing yet. But I'll say this, at the end of the day, we humans work like parachutes, only if we are open. So I said, okay, Stan, take a closer look at it again. And then I understood the whole thing. I saw what potential the whole thing had. Then I understood and saw not only that there's real substance, but one can have a real career here. So I said, okay, Stan, whatever. The worst thing that could happen is that you have to keep working in your job. So I tried the whole thing. And luckily, it was so simple and so easy to implement. I was never alone. So even though I worked 13 to 15 hours, I saw results very quickly. And after the first week, I thought, okay, seems to be lucrative or seems to work. What would theoretically happen if I invested my time seriously? I gave it my all, before work, after work, and in between really, and I actually quit my job after a month. So at 26, for the first time in my life, I was free to decide for myself every day when I work, where I work, how much, and with whom. And of course, there was my second question. Stan, you are 26 now. You've never been free before. What are you going to do now? I don't know about you, but I love to travel. I love to discover the world, which I could never do before. So I said, okay, Stan, just travel a little. Maybe you'll find your way on your journey. And a little bit of travel turned into 1.5 years. A little bit of traveling quickly turned into over 35 countries up to now, for which I am very, very grateful to Kyäni. But not only that, but the Christmas before last, I was able to let my parents retire, which was very, very important to me and very, very emotional for me, and still is. And sure, today we're writing a lot of success stories every day. Thousands of success stories have been written with the team, and I'm just very grateful every day that we have people on the team like single mums who had 2 part-time jobs before, or friends, acquaintances who also come from the same industry, who can now start their families. Or if acquaintances replied to my Insta stories back then, "Stan, what are you doing?" And they can actually travel now themselves. And so, if you're watching right now, and maybe you also have some goals and dreams, maybe you do say, "I've always wanted to do something I haven't quite dared to do." I can tell you, yes, I would like to share 3 important things that have shaped my life. The first is that people do not regret things we have done, but things we have not done. Secondly, where is the safest place for a ship? The port. But that is not what ships are built for. And third, what I have learned from my mentor. The situation you are in today is based on the right or wrong decisions you made a year ago. If you want to be somewhere else a year from now, you should definitely start making the right decision. That was it from my side. I am Stan. I live and love Kyäni, and thank you for this chance.